Welcome to my class of cloud computing. Today we will learn about layered cloud architecture development design challenges. Enterprises increasingly want to take advantage of the flexibility and choice of multiple cloud offerings in order to use the best cloud service and reduce the cost in software development. In fact, the International Data Corporation predicted in a Futurescape report that multi-cloud adoption will increase drastically, and more than 85% of enterprise IT corporation will invest in multi-cloud architecture by 2020. With the enterprise hurtling towards digital transformation at breakneck speeds, the adoption of cloud, both public and private, has accelerated, and working across different clouds across various platforms bring a whole lot of challenges. This is the diagrammatic representation of how basic cloud architecture looks like. The basic cloud architecture is a three-tier architecture. There are three tiers. The architecture consists of three major tiers: load balancer server, application server, database server. There is one dedicated server for each tier. For failover and recovery purpose, we have used redundant server at each tier. This is called redundant three-tier architecture used in production environment. Non-redundant architecture, which consists of single server for each tier, are only for testing the interactivity between each tier of your application. This is the most basic one. We can use additional server depending on the application. For example, to add faster backup functionality, the use of stripped volume set at database tier is used. Let us take an example of Netflix. How Netflix manages such a huge collection of videos and provides a great streaming experience without disruptions. This is because of its multi-data centers located geographically around the world, which backs each other in case of any disaster. Also, streaming from local data center gives fast viewing experience. In this architecture, we have multiple data centers, each having its own local balancer tier. These are local balancer tier. Each is having its own local balancer tier, application tier, and database tier. The most fascinating experience of cloud is its horizontal auto scaling feature. This gives the ability to grow or shrink number of server resources on demand, and this work is done by load balancer. We have added server arrays to set up a particular tier of architecture to auto scale based on predefined condition. Multi-cloud strategy is the concomitant use of two or more cloud service such as AWS, Azure, Google Cloud and more. This means we can use Google Cloud to serve the US users and Microsoft Azure for the customers in Europe. In addition, we can run our app primarily on DigitalOcean but is completely replicated and backed up on AWS. We can have our own development and test environment on one cloud and production environment on another. Multi-cloud management is another aspect which involves monitoring the cost of cloud deployment. It is important to reap benefits of multi-cloud. But to take advantage of multi-cloud benefit, it is very important to manage and monitor the cloud deployment and cost. Multi-cloud strategy is particularly effective if enterprises deals with challenges. What are the challenges? Users are not located near any data center or widely distributed geographically. Facing regulations limit in particular countries for storing data. Environment where public clouds are used with on-premise resources. Cloud-based application is not resilient, which can affect disaster recovery when loss of a single data center. In order to build highly scalable and replicable applications, a multi-cloud architecture design is appropriate. Our objective is to provide architectural guidance for migrating cloud-based systems that run on multiple independent clouds. In this architecture, application cloud is hosted on premise and after migration, it can use different cloud services of other cloud platforms to improve performance. Here, application components are hosted on premise but before adopting multi-clouds. Benefits of using multi-clouds are improves availability as application, rehosting in multiple cloud platform and avoid vendor lock-in. In multi-cloud relocation architecture, application component is rehosted on cloud platform and use other cloud services of multiple cloud platform to enhance capabilities. Benefits are improves availability as application, rehosting in multiple cloud platforms and avoid vendor lock-in. Multi-cloud refactor to provide better quality of service. An on-premise application is re-architected for deployment on multiple cloud platform. Here, application needs to re-architected as fine-grained component so that development of high usage component can be optimized independently. Here, deployment of high usage component is optimized independently of low usage ones. The parallel design enables better throughput to multi-cloud platform. The benefits are optimal scalability, performance, range of multi-cloud deployment option, agility to respond to business and IT change. Challenges include on-premise application is modernized in isolation. Modernization is performed primarily for technical reason. Component architecture, which is only determined bottom up, may need to be reevaluated because of multi-cloud environment. Multi-cloud rebinding occurs when a re-architected application is deployed partially on multiple cloud environment and enables the application to continue to function using secondary deployment when there is a failure with the primary platform. Benefits are an unhealthy service becomes healthy again, traffic can be delivered, returning system responsiveness to maximum. The challenges include this architecture does not guarantee seamless failover. There will be downtime. Multi-cloud rebinding with cloud brokerage. A re-architected application is deployed partially on mutual cloud and multiple cloud environment. This enables the application to continue to function using secondary deployment when there is a failure with the primary platform using cloud brokerage service. Benefits: an unhealthy services becomes healthy again, traffic can be delivered, returning system responsiveness to maximum. Challenges: this architecture does not guarantee seamless failover. There will be downtime. Multi-application modernization. Different on-premise applications are re-architectured as a portfolio and deployed on cloud environment. It provides consistent information and rules in shared component. Reduced operation and maintenance cost for shared component is another benefit. Challenges are lack of business commitment to shared capabilities. Now we come to a comparison of multi-cloud versus hybrid cloud. On the first pass, both may appear same and these terms used interchangeably by some, but they are not the same. Here we differentiate between the two. Hybrid cloud is a mix of public and private cloud that connects the public cloud such as AWS to on-premise system and is orchestrated to perform together for a single task. Using hybrid cloud, organizations can access highly elastic compute resources from the chosen provider, perhaps for managing and storing additional workload at peak times and for general day-to-day applications. But all the mission critical stuff remains on-premise infrastructure for multiple reasons like privacy regulations and security. Why we need to implement hybrid cloud? For certain use cases, organizations require a combination of a private and public cloud to leverage unique benefits offered by them. Organizations can leverage cloud busting, in which Application workloads burst into public cloud for additional compute resources after they reach a threshold level in private cloud. It makes sense for organizations to use public cloud resources for a new untested application before embarking on the capital expenditure associated with launching in private cloud. Once an organization defines a steady state workload pipeline to run an application, it may choose to bring the application to on-premise system. Moreover, cloud customer can use hybrid clouds to promote high availability HA disaster recovery DR. For example, in a disaster recovery scenario, an organization can keep its recovery environment in a public cloud and production environment in a private cloud, ready to spin up as necessary. The organization replicates data across to the public cloud, but all other resources remains non-operational until needed. Hybrid cloud architecture provides maximum agility for meeting the needs of the organization by providing infrastructure where IT operations can be automated to improve the user experience. So we come to basic cloud architecture. The basic cloud architecture, which is quite common around the web, is three-tier architecture. The architecture consists of three major tiers: load balancer server, application server, and database server. One by one, we will look to or we will learn about all the servers. Load balancer server. Load balancing is defined as the mathematical and efficient distribution of network or application traffic across multiple servers in a server farm. Each load balancer sits between client device and backend servers, receiving and then distributing incoming requests to any available servers capable of fulfilling them. Load mm, uh, s- Cloud load balancing is a type of load balancing. Here, workloads and computing properties are distributed in cloud across multiple resources. It enables management of workload demands or application demands by splitting the resources among several servers, network, or system. Cloud load balancing includes holding the processing of workload traffic that exists over the internet. It reduces cost regarding document management system, improves the distribution of workload across multiple computing resources, and overall performance of application by decreasing the burden on servers associated with managing and maintaining applications and network. The traffic on the internet is growing rapidly every year, which is about 100% annually of the present traffic. Hence, the workload on the server develops more rapidly, which leads to the overloading of servers mainly for popular web server. There are two elementary solutions to overcome the problem of overloading on the servers. Single server solution. Here the server is upgraded to a high performance server, but that does not mean the new server would be working perfectly. It would be overloaded soon and would need another upgrade, but here the upgrading process is tiresome and expensive. Multiple server solution. Here a scalable service system is established on a cluster of servers, making it more cost effective. Also, it is scalable to build a server cluster system for network services. Load balancing is beneficial with almost any type of service like HTTP, SMTP, DNS, FTP and POP or IMAP. It also raises reliability through redundancy. The easiness of scaling in the cloud means that companies can handle traffic without any downfall in their performance. This is done by placing a cloud load balancer in front of a group of application instances. It can auto scale in reaction to the level of demand. The balancing service is provided by a dedicated hardware device or program. Cloud-based server can attain more precise scalability and availability using server load balancing. This is the diagram of load balancer server. A lots of user are there. They are connected with internet and a load balancer is there. Load balancer balances the load and is connected to cloud server. So, there are multiple cloud servers connected to load balancer. Types of load balancer are software based load balancer. Software based load balancers run on standard hardware and standard operating system. Hardware based load balancer includes application specific integrated service adapted for a particular use. ASICs allow high speed promoting of network traffic. We can use it for transport layer load balancing because hardware based load balancing is faster than software solutions. Major examples of load balancers are direct routing requesting dispatching technique. Here a real server and load balancer share the virtual IP address. The load balancer takes an interface with the virtual IP address that accepts request packet and it directly routes the packet to the selected server. Dispatched based load balancing cluster. A dispatched does smart load balancing by utilizing server availability, workload capability to regulate where to send a TCP IP request. The dispatcher module of a load balancer can split HTTP request among various nodes in a cluster. The dispatcher distributes the load among many servers in a cluster so the servers of various nodes seem like a virtual service on an only IP address. Linux Virtual Load Balancer is an open source load balancing solution and helps in establishing extremely scalable and available network services such as HTTP, POP3, FTP, SMTP, media and coaching, and voice over internet protocol VoIP. The load balancer is the primary entry point of server cluster system and can execute internet protocols virtual server which implement transport layer load balancing in Linux kernel, also known as layer 4 switching. Cloud application server. A cloud server is a powerful physical or virtual infrastructure that performs application and information processing storage. Cloud servers are created using an infrastructure as service IaaS model to process workload and store information. They can access virtual server function remotely through an online interface. What are the key features of cloud application server? Computing infrastructure that can be physical, virtual, or mix of the two depending on use case. Has all the capabilities of an on-premise server. Enables user to process intensive workload and store large volume of information. Automated services are accessed on demand through an API. Gives user the choice of monthly or as-you-go payment. User can opt for a shared hosting plan that scales depending on the need. With cloud servers, organizations only pay for what they need and reduce the expenses that comes with maintaining server hardware. Users can scale computing and storage resources to meet changing need. This is particularly helpful for organizations with fluctuating needs. And organizations cloud servers and organizations cloud server are networked to ensure uninterrupted communication and fast deployment. This is the diagrammatic representation of cloud application server. It is related to information server engine and it controls the working database server, information server, and application server are connected. There is a security protection through firewall. Also, present supply chain phases are there. This is about cloud application server. What was the third one? Third one was database server. A cloud database is a database service built and accessed through a cloud platform. It serves many of the same functions as traditional database with added flexibility of cloud computing. Users install software on a cloud infrastructure to implement the database. A cloud database is a database that typically runs on a cloud computing platform and accesses to the database is provided as a service. Database services take care of scalability and high availability of the database. Database services make the underlying software stack transparent to the users. Platforms allow user to purchase virtual machine instances for a limited time. With a database as special model, applications owner do not have to install and maintain the database themselves. Instead, the database service provider takes responsibility for installing and maintaining the database, and application owners are charged according to their usage of service. This is the diagrammatic representation of database server. It is an integral part of the cloud computing architecture. Applications, mobile, storage, server are all connected, are all integral part of cloud computing. There are three types of cloud as explained earlier: private cloud, public cloud, and hybrid cloud. Most database services offer web-based console which the end user can use to provision and configure database instances.